Hi, everybody. Thanks for being here on this Tuesday, which also happens to be July the 19th. Weather-wise, we're still staring at some high pressure rolling in. That's going to give us, well, it's pretty much going to set the stage for some heat and humidity, and temperatures have even increased for daily expectations and predictions since last night. Yeah, more than 90 degrees for more than a few days in a row. More in your forecast in just a few moments. Coverage of the special Johnson County Fiscal Court session from last night, the Sagersville City Council meeting from last night, just a brief update from the GOP convention last night, at least the beginning thereof, and a few things from around the nation that have been shared. A few remarks on Johnson County's own Marlena Van Hoos, and some other news and information that you'll only find here. All I know at this hour is that the Kentucky State Police are investigating the discovery of a body found on train tracks in Pike County. They have confirmed the death to be that of 39-year-old Shannon Robinson of Shelbyana. From what I understand, Kentucky State Police troopers with Post 9 got a call advising them that an employee with the CSX Railroad Company had found a body of a deceased male. The body was discovered on the Nels Bottom Railroad tracks in Millard in Pike County. A preliminary investigation details that Robinson suffered fatal injuries after he was indeed struck by the train. The Pike County coroner, Russell Roberts, pronounced him dead at the scene. Robinson's body, meanwhile, has been sent to the state medical examiner's office for an autopsy, while the entire incident remains under investigation by the Kentucky State Police. We'll begin with coverage of last night's Sagersville City Council meeting, a regular session meeting for the council and for the mayor of Sagersville. They discussed the budget in detail, also some good news in money matters in regards to insurance rates and fees. That's not something you hear of all that often, and some other topics of discussion contained in the meeting. The council gave unanimous approval to the second reading of the city budget. They also gave support to the nomination of Bill Montgomery by Mayor Pete Shepard for the city's delegate for a PVA representative. And later, the mayor's report showed some significant savings in the city's property insurance rates and medical insurance rates, totaling close to $100,000 a year.
You got your financials in there on that. We're going to come out a little bit better hopefully this year. We got our estimate, or finalized our city insurance. We're going to save about $18,000 this year on our city insurance from what we had the year before.
That's property insurance, correct?
Property insurance, yeah. And, you know, the whole thing, the whole package deal we have with the cars and everything is with one company.
Right.
Yeah. Our medical insurance, we got a new plan with it. It went from $171,000 to a little over $100,000. We're going to save about $70,000 on it. We went to 80/50, 80/20, $500 deductible, $5,000 plan with Blue Cross, Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield through Philip Hunt and his companies in Prestonsburg. So we got, so we want to save quite a bit of money on that.
Those new insurance rates effective as of July the 1st. Also in the mayor's report, an update on police vehicles which have been leased by the city, a total of 3 new cruisers, 3 pickup trucks, 1 for the street department, 1 to be split between City Hall and the police department, and 2 four-wheel drive SUVs for the city police and city fire departments.
Did we or did we not approve the cruisers, the cars? But when did we approve the trucks?
And I thought we approved everything at one time. All at the same time? Yeah.
You're supposed to check on the trucks to see if you got a dump truck with a blade and everything on it at the time, and you
yeah.
said, well,
We didn't, I decided not to.
and we were supposed to get 4 cars, wasn't it? Now you're talking 2 cars.
No. 3 police officers got 3 cars.
Getting 3 cars and
The Durango,
2
two
trucks
Durango
and
went to the police chief and the fire chief. We got a city truck. We got another vehicle that's going to go between the police and the city hall, which is outfitted for the police. The 4-wheel drive truck is for police too. So it's 3 cars in the Durango and a truck for the police department and city hall. And that's what was agreed on, because that was the lease payment, that we couldn't pay the lease payment unless y'all agreed to buy them all. That was what the amount was, $42,000 a year. And that's when I showed you that with the expense we was having on all the cars, plus the gas mileage, and plus some other things, we want to save more than we're paying for the new vehicles, and then after 5 years, we can replace them with new vehicles again.
The mayor reminded the council and the audience that all of the vehicles, with the exception of one of the pickup trucks, will be striped with the city logo and respective decals. As for the 3 police cruisers, they are still on order, actually some accessories for them on order, and should be delivered in 2 to 3 weeks. The mayor also made some reference to some work ongoing in the City Hall parking lot, as the state has sent a company in to try to remove oil and contaminants from below the parking lot surface left behind from a former business, a service station, without having to dig up the earth.
You just notice all the side of the parking lot's all marked up. They're putting, they're gonna drill holes and put some type of solution in there and put bacteria in there to hopefully eat all the oil and gas byproducts from the filling station that was here. So they're gonna drill holes, put them in there, patch them up, and let the bacteria do their thing. So, and that's gonna take 3 weeks. They'll be here 3 weeks doing that. They've been testing for how long, that stuff, and then, I mean, that guy, when he come last year and tested, he said if it wasn't much better, he figured they would go ahead and appropriate the money to go ahead and put that stuff in there, so I don't know if it'll work or not. It's either that or dig up everything.
Later, Councilman Tom Frazier asked about the Ramey Park maintenance, to which Shepard said rain had slowed the city's mowing process down considerably, and that with the high school no longer using the 2 ball fields, which they had maintained for all these years, it was noticeable. However, the city doesn't have the equipment or the experience, he says, right now in prepping the fields in any other way besides mowing them as they are. Frazier also asked if the mayor had received any reports of needles, perhaps lots of needles, being found in the Ramey Park, to which Shepard said none of his officers had advised him of any such situation lately.
But you don't think that could be true?
What?
About the needles and the.
I ain't heard no news.
And stuff.
The needles could be true because you can't control what they get in those dugouts and stuff and do.
Well, I'm saying that if it is increased, then we need to put a little bit more policemen walking around there.
The police have been over there more
You
than
know, if it's getting to a point that.
I haven't heard one. I haven't heard one
one.
police officer say they found needles, somebody's reported needles over there. You know, the trash is a different story because they knock over the cans and throw the trash out, but we got a guy who goes every morning, Saturday and Sunday, and they clean the bathrooms, and they pick up the garbage. And when you send a guy over there and you got people that'll go in there and use the bathroom and rub feces all over the walls, pack toilet paper down in and flush the commodes, and just try to do stuff so the good thing. They don't put that on Facebook. That my guys go over and clean that up. If they ever come down, if they want to do some volunteer work, come down there every morning and go over and help clean the bathrooms or help take care of the trash. It don't take long, and it can be easy done with a little Clorox. But it's easy to sit back and take a picture and look at something when everything's clean for a year, and one day somebody goes in there and does something. Then they start complaining. Well, that's fine. We'll take care of the complaint. I don't have a problem with it. But the only problem I've got is we helped with the garbage quite a bit because we put them lids on them cans. The dogs can't turn them over or whatever, or get into them or something. But it's a big job to pick up the park. The park's not our only responsibility. We've got the city of Sarsfield. And like I say, the county come and helped mow that day, I guess because they looked at Facebook, but it was well appreciated because we had to weed eat them banks and they come over up for bush hog and bush hog them.
You'll find most of the stuff that goes on in the park, but that happens early morning hours. Because usually from 6 a.m. till dark, you've got a constant flow of people walking around the park.
And we have police out there, and then we lock it up, so the police, when they come to the park, they just drive by, they don't go down in it because it's all locked up. So,
That's when they all go
and that's
to
when they
concession stands.
hit the concession stands
2 or 3 o'clock in the morning.
2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, getting in the pool.
Need some cameras over in that park.
Well, we need-
sometimes, we need to.
That's gonna, well, I ain't gonna say, I ain't gonna tell them. We're gonna take care of that problem.
One of the last discussions was around the progress of finding a place to situate 2 tornado shelters that were purchased from the former Joy Global Company by the city at a very reduced cost. The mayor said that they are right now looking into a small piece of the property behind the Sagersville First Baptist Church across from the Ramey Park, and that he's still in some sort of negotiations with the state to maybe place one where the former Mighty Mart business was on the Parkway. The state acquired that property for the road expansion, and they have bylaws, if you will, that says that they can't do anything with that property as far as giving it to a city or governmental entity for at least a year. They're trying to maybe work around that issue in hopes that common sense might prevail, and that might be a great place to put such an emergency shelter. For high-speed internet starting at 15 meg for all of your gaming, movie, home, and business solutions, or to watch TV, including your favorite local channels without a contract, with hundreds of channels and digital and HD quality, and to stay connected 24/7 with friends and family, a direct line to 911, or to give your business the link it needs, choose telephone service you know is always there. Just click on their link on this site to find out how affordable the latest technology in communications can be. Foothills Communications. The Paintsville City Council met last evening. That report forthcoming on tomorrow's program. Also, the Johnson County Fiscal Court met last night as well. That report coming up right now. Budget amendments for the Sheriff's Department. More discussion on the acquisition project for Flat Gap residents after the flooding, which occurred just more than a year ago. And other items on the agenda were covered. This was a special session of the Johnson County Fiscal Court. After payment of the bills, approval of the minutes, they moved on to accepting amendments to the Johnson County Sheriff's budget, an increase in fees of approximately $28,000, about $22,000 from the sale of a piece of heavy equipment seized by the Sheriff's Department, and another $7,000 or so in fees that they had collected, with the intent of using $21,275 of those dollars toward a new vehicle to be purchased for the department. That money, along with a USDA grant to complete the purchase, as well as using about $7,000 for deputy salaries. The commissioners and the judge also went on to accept the 2015 tax settlements from the Sheriff's Department. And from there, some time spent discussing flooding, the one-year anniversary, and the current status of the Johnson County Flat Gap Acquisition Project. Almost exactly a year since the flooding in that area of Johnson County. They are still in the process of applying for a hazard mitigation grant program through FEMA, money passed on down to the state for acquiring properties that were flooded last July in 2015. Regina McClure of Big Sandy Ad advised the court that she expected it to take another 6 to 9 months before they heard any official word on that grant.
Next item is Johnson County Flat Gap Acquisition Project. This is a program that is associated with the flash flooding we had last year in Flat Gap. There's a multitude of documents that are involved in trying to process this application and proposal.
Last Wednesday on the 13th, of course, was a year ago, and I know all of us, thought a lot about it last Wednesday, where we was at and what we was doing and those sort of things. But, it has been a year, and we know the Flat Gap community was devastated, but there was other communities, Red Bush, Puncheon, out 201, down on 23 at Whitensville. There was other areas affected. And of course, we just had so much support from all the local agencies, especially first responders, local churches. Everybody just pitched right in, and everybody was there. And of course, we got a lot of support from outside agencies. Of course, I know, just done some work there on the hazard mitigation project out there, but the work's still ongoing. Long-term recovery is still working. I think they've done a fantastic job. That's something you just don't move through real quickly. You have to have caseworkers involved, but they've helped a lot of people, and they're continuing to help a lot of people.
And I don't really know how, I don't think anybody can prepare for something of that magnitude. You just can't do it. You can't envision that. But to see the community come together, see all the first responders out there doing what they do every day, without any handout or asking for credit or support or anything like that. They just do their job. And then to see people from across this nation come in here, roll in here with trucks with food and water and clothing and pretty much everything. I almost shut down Johnson Central, didn't it, Darren? Yeah. Out there with their distribution center, just got overwhelmed by numbers there. But just thank God that there's that kind of people out here in this world that want to do some good. They just want to help their fellow man.
And once again, possibly another 6 to 9 months before residents who sought to be a part of that program will hear anything from FEMA. One final order of business was accepting the Board of Health's tax rate for the upcoming fiscal year at 6 cents per $100 of valuation on personal property. That is the same rate as the year before. More headlines to come right now. Announcements on your McGoffin Farm Bureau community calendar. A happy 6th birthday to Addison Grace Collett from a whole lot of family and a whole lot of friends. A happy 6th birthday to Addison Grace Collett. And I've got another birthday wish for you this evening. This one says a happy belated 83rd birthday to Jewel Kane. From your husband, kids, grandkids, Neelis Nene Bucket, family, and friends, happy birthday. Her 83rd, I think, fell on last Friday. Happy birthday, Jewel Kane. The New Bethel Assembly of God of Burning Fork invites kids 3 and up to Vacation Bible School. This week, it starts tomorrow, goes through Saturday, 6 to 8 nightly, a pool party on Saturday evening. And those who attend will receive free school supplies and be entered to win prizes, including bicycles. So come and join them as they learn about the greatest superhero in history. If you have any questions, call 349. I have that number backwards, 7843. Man, I've got a few corrections to make tonight. Also, a reminder, also at New Bethel Assembly of God, if you have a child with special needs, they invite them to a fun-filled night specifically designed just for them. They've got their trained staff who are going to be there. Make sure that your kids have a great time learning about Jesus in a very safe and fun environment. That's a one-night event on July the 29th, 6 to 8. A reminder about free sports and school physicals coming up. It is this Saturday the 23rd at Immediate Care here in Magoffin County, Paul B. Hall's facility on Parkway Drive. Call 349-6006 if you have any questions, but keep in mind, no appointment needed for free physicals this Saturday at Immediate Care. And from our friends at Stinson United Baptist Church, it's Family and Friends Day. That's right, this Sunday morning at 11. Come and join them for an old-fashioned worship service. Lunch will be served following in the fellowship hall. They hope to see you there. Everyone's invited for Family and Friends Day this Sunday at 11 at Stinson United Baptist. Here's another correction that I was referring to. Man, I got this one completely wrong last night. Submerged, got that right. Finding the Truth Below the Surface, the theme of Vacation Bible School at Kearney Free Will Baptist Church. Got that right. It is not this week. It did not start last night, and that's where I completely goofed. It is next week, July the 25th through the 29th, 5:30 to 8:30. And I think I've gotten that one backwards for a couple of days, possibly. My apologies. It's not unheard of here. Nevertheless, Vacation Bible School at Kearney Free Will Baptist next week, Monday through Friday, 5:30 nightly. And again, my apologies to Pastor Butch Whitaker and everyone who's been listening to me have it backwards for the past few days. This I will get right. If you have an announcement that you trust me with, a birthday, anniversary, or otherwise, send it to me. I'll do my best to get it right the first time. P.O. Box 1443 in Sagersville. Email to yournewstoday@yahoo.com. I'm on Facebook under Ritter Mortimer. Phone it, fax it, drop it off here at the studio. Any way you can get it. And remember, the show is always on our website at yournewstoday.com. And a service brought to you by the Magoffin County Funeral Home. Funeral announcements tonight on behalf of Danny Patrick, Charles Danny Patrick, 86, of Riverview, Florida, formerly of Magoffin County, who passed away on the 16th, one-time owner of Markham's Hardware. He was first married to Helen Morris Patrick, who preceded him in death. He's survived by his wife, Pansy Salyer Patrick, son Danny Joe Patrick, and daughter Diane Holbrook. Visitation has been set for this Thursday beginning at 5, and then prior to Friday morning services, which will begin at 11, all from the Sagersville First Baptist Church. Also, a reminder about services to be held for Joseph William Peace, 34 of Ermine in Whitesburg, who passed away on Saturday, the son of the late Ricky Joe Peace and Teresa Noble Peace. He is also survived, in addition to his wife and 2 children, by brother Josh Peace of the Sagersville Police Department. Services for Joseph Peace to be held tomorrow at 1 in Whitesburg. Unofficial reports we've received in the newsroom for the past couple of days that Paintsville businessman Euless Crace may have reached a plea deal with federal prosecutors, as did former co-defendant Larry Harold, could not be confirmed as of airtime, but do, however, seem possible, if not likely, per court filings in the past few days. While there have been several sealed documents pertaining to former Paintsville Utilities manager Larry Harold since April the 15th, the last public document for the most part was a plea agreement that was revealed between he and federal prosecutors, in which he will enter a guilty plea to count 6 of the indictment for basically lying to the FBI per their investigation as to being asked to give an explanation to why Mayor Bob Porter received free utilities for 2 years, with him telling the special agent in the investigation that he was unaware of that and that he had no idea why there was not an automatic disconnection of service for the 2 residences pertaining to the delinquent accounts of the mayor. And they contend at the time he actually knew about Porter's unpaid utility bills for at least 6 months prior to being questioned, and that he'd actually discussed the delinquency with one of the utility commission's accountants or auditors, and even had telephoned the mayor to request that he pay the bills. He faces up to 5 years in prison and a $250,000 fine. However, the plea agreement does stipulate that there is no agreement in existence between the parties for the sentencing guidelines and to how they'll be calculated. He also agreed to cooperate fully with the United States Attorney's Office by making full and complete disclosure in the trial against Porter. As for Euless Crace, the last document made public was a document indicating that there was to be a status conference, originally set for Tuesday, July the 12th, and then was later rescheduled for last Thursday, July the 14th. We believe that conference to have taken place. However, since then, several sealed motions, actually 2 sealed motions, a sealed order and a sealed response, which we are not privy to at this time. This again following unofficial reports that there may be a plea agreement in the works between Crace and federal authorities, but that once again cannot be confirmed. No other court date was given for either of the 2 individuals. It's safe to say that for whatever reason, last night's Republican National Convention may have been one of the most anticipated in quite some time. It is sure to say that for a lot of Eastern Kentuckians and for a lot of folks all around the country that have come to know her through her singing and her personality, it was also anxiously awaited for the beginning of the event, as Marlena Van Hoos did just exactly what we knew she would upon hearing that she would be kicking off the convention with the national anthem. She left a lot of folks speechless. Those that she didn't had a lot of kind words to say.
See by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight.
Streamed live and all across the nation and around the world as well. I have checked as many reports today as possible to find what other folks elsewhere were saying about what has been called show-stopping performance to kick off the national convention last night. She blew away the audience. Beautiful. One of the top 5 national anthem performances I've ever witnessed. Marlena is America. That was my favorite. And just the best ever. And the list goes on. And we'll agree with all of those. We're just anxious to see where we're going to be seeing this young, talented, and wonderful Johnson County next.
Gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
I think it's at least the 7th time I've watched that today. Weather-wise, per your Licking Valley RECC forecast, it's just going to be hot and humid. I'm showing 95 degrees outside the Your News Today studio at this hour, and I'm hopeful that we'll fall 32 degrees backwards for nighttime lows. Mostly clear skies. Northwest wind 5, becoming 0 miles per hour throughout a mostly clear Tuesday evening. Into your tomorrow, and tomorrow starts the trend upward. 88, sunny, mostly clear, calm, clear, and rather warmish. I'm trying to work up to this. 89, 69, high and low. Thursday, mostly sunny, mostly clear skies. And if the 80s aren't enough for you, we do have the 90s rolling into town Friday with high pressure ruling the roost. Mostly sunny and hot, and heat indices will be something that you'll need to keep your eye on. Mostly sunny. We have to put in a 20% threat of showers and thunderstorms on Friday. A lot of heat and some humidity, and of course, it's kind of one of those you just never know situations. Saturday, ditto. Low 90s, low 70s, mostly sunny, a 30% threat of some showers and storms. And there's that ditto again for Sunday, 91, 72, mostly sunny, a 30% threat. We might see the temperatures from 90s back off to like 89 Monday, and then 87 on your Tuesday, and then they'll kind of hover in the mid to upper 80 range again. But we've got 4 days in a row, all 90s and a few ticks above, and we haven't seen this kind of heat this year. I mean, literally, you have to go back to last fall, early, middle, sometimes September possibly, to get that kind of heat. I would say enjoy it, but that would be just a really bad joke. It's going to wrap it up for us tonight. We're already working on news for tomorrow. Find out what it is only if you join us back here for more of Your News Today. Thanks for watching, and have a good Tuesday night.